Hi guys, it's Louisa, and today I'm going to be doing a What 2012 Has Taught Me video. I got the inspiration for this from hellokatyxo's video. Her video is incredibly inspirational, and it definitely got me to reflect on my 2012 and what I learned. So if you have not seen that video, you should definitely go check it out. But anyways, my 2012 was awesome. I just had an incredible year. I accomplished a lot of things that I really wanted to, especially revolving dance. I mended a lot of friendships that needed to be mended. I'm dating my best friend, which is really awesome, and my family and everybody's pretty happy, so it was a great year. I think though, in order for it to be ending as well as it is, I had to learn these lessons, and over 2012 I learned 3 lessons that I'm definitely not going to forget. The first lesson that I learned is that it's okay to stick up for yourself. I learned this a couple weeks ago because what happened was my dance team, they decided that they were gonna have this fun dress-up day, and I did not get that text. So when I showed up to dance class, they were all dressed up, and I wasn't, and everyone was kind of looking at me like, aren't you supposed to be part of the group? And I felt really left out, and I felt like really kind of upset that had happened. And so normally what I would do, I would have just in those circumstances just would have been like, okay, whatever, I can't do anything about it, and I would have just let it go. But after what happened, I really kind of wanted to stand up for myself, and I was like, hey, that really wasn't cool what happened. And after I talked about it with them, they said, they didn't really mean for that to happen, and they really took stock of how I felt, and they said that's not ever going to happen again. And I'm really glad that I just brought it out in the open instead of just being like, it wasn't a big deal. I think that one of the things that my attitude has changed on is that it's okay to speak up about what you deserve. And if you really feel like you deserve something, you should just speak up about it. You don't have to give in to everybody all the time. Granted, you don't have to be so stubborn all the time, but I think it's okay if you really want something and you really feel like you deserve something, just be like, I deserve that. And chances are people will respect you for at least going after what you want if it's really important to you. And it's okay. You deserve to go after what you want, and you deserve what you want. So definitely that is one of the greatest lessons I learned this year. The second lesson that I learned this year was to forgive and move on, or just forgive and let go. I learned this a couple weeks ago. Over the summer, a group of friends and I think we spent maybe too much time together, and I think that's what happened. And we just had a lot of awkward high school social things happen between us. So we just were not very nice people to each other. We would bicker and say mean things, and we were not the type of friends to each other that we had been in the past. We had been really respectful of each other in the past, and we weren't that at all anymore. And so I kind of always held a grudge against them, and I had this bitterness towards them. And finally, this month, I decided that for Christmas, I was just going to forgive them. And because I knew deep down that they were good people, and I knew that they really didn't mean to hurt my feelings. And as soon as I forgave them, they were very thankful that I forgave them, and our friendship has been great since then. Just because I was like, you know what, you guys really hurt my feelings, but I'm going to forgive you. And I put it out there in the open, and they were really receptive of that. And our friendship has been great because I feel like I can be way more honest with them. And it's great because we know how much we made each other feel like crap. So now we know we're not going to do that. We're going to avoid that. So I think sometimes holding the bitterness, it's an awful feeling. And the best thing to do is just, if deep down someone is a really good person and they really didn't mean to hurt you, the best thing to do in order to live your life to the fullest, you have to forgive people. And even if what they did was really hard, you just have to forgive. Otherwise, you're always going to be held back. And I think my life was going great, but I always felt held back because I was like, I still haven't resolved that with my friends, and that it was killing me that I still hadn't done that. So once I finally forgave them, I felt like, oh yeah, like my life is awesome, like there was nothing holding me back. So forgiving and moving on, it might not always give the best outcome, but for me, I think it works a lot better than just being bitter towards a person and not just resolving whatever happened. And then the last thing I learned this year was that it's okay to be an open book with the world, and that I don't have to hide who I am from the world. I learned this because for my English final this semester, we had to give a presentation, and in that presentation we had to say, you know, we're a Puritan, a realist. We just had to explain like what we were and why, because based on events in our life. And so we had to give it in front of the class, and so I didn't really think my presentation was going to be emotional at all, but then I got up there and I realized, I was like, this is really kind of personal, and I started crying actually. And at first I was like, oh god, like just stop crying, like here are 22 kids like looking at you like you're a freak because you're crying in class. But I looked up, and the 22 kids in my class though, they weren't looking at me like, wow, like that's a freak. They were like, it's okay, like we understand, like we're teenagers too. And after that moment, like after just confessing my fears, and this is why the way I am in front of 22 of my peers, or close to that, I'm totally approximating that, I just felt way more like fearless. I felt like, you know, if I can just be honest about my fears and be honest about who I am in front of like some kids I know really well and some kids I don't, like there was really nothing holding me back. And I also like realized that for other aspects of my life, not just like socially, like among my peers, but I also like realized in dance, like I'm not the best technical dancer. I mean, we all like pretty much everyone like knows that I'm not the best technical dancer ever in the world, and I know that. But I also know like, hey, I'm a great facial dancer too. And I'm just because like I don't have the best technique in the world doesn't mean I'm going to stop dancing. I love to dance, so I'm going to keep dancing my heart out. And I've also kind of learned that regarding YouTube as well. Like, I don't have the best camera. I don't have the best editing software. You know, I'm not the best filmmaker in the world. But I like to make YouTube videos. It makes me happy. So I'm going to keep doing it, even though, like, some people are like, yeah, you suck as a YouTuber. Well, you know, it gives me joy, though. So I'm going to keep doing it. So this is probably the best lesson I've learned this year, is just, it's okay to just be open about who you are in the world. And if some people don't like that's okay. That's just how it is. But I also know that there's a ton of people that really do appreciate what I do, and that there are a ton of people that really can relate to me, and there are a ton of people that really do appreciate me being in their lives, and that's why I do what I do. And I don't have to hide myself from the world, because let's be honest, I'm pretty awesome, so why hide that from the world? But being an open book, I've just taken a lot more chances, and I feel way more confident than I did before. Way more confident. So, yeah. So that's pretty much the 3 major lessons of 2012 for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it meaningful. I hope you guys have a wonderful end to your 2012. We did not die. We survived the apocalypse, so woohoo party. But I hope you have a great New Year's Eve, and you start off your 2013 right. So see you guys soon. Bye.